It is Power 106.7, LB Johnson in here. I'm talking with what I'm going to consider and go ahead and say a legend in the making. Kevin Gates is in the building. Kevin, how you feeling, man?
Been a 10 for rules on a fit.
I gotta say the realest thing, man. I knew little about you up until a couple months ago, man, when my little brother, all he could talk about is Kevin Gates. This dude, Kevin Gates, man. So I started doing my research. And, man, you've had a young but long life, man. You've been through a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people say I'm an old soul. You know, a lot of people say that. I just feel to believe that I live life at an accelerated pace.
Yeah.
And most of the individuals that I gravitate toward are older individuals.
I can definitely feel that. Let's start at the beginning. Now, you come from Louisiana, right?
Right.
Now, were you in Louisiana during Hurricane Katrina?
Right.
How did that affect you?
I can't say that it affected me because that's a place that's hardship happen. It's always hardship.
Yeah.
You always endure hardship from birth. You know, that's the only place I know that if you can stay inside the stomach an extra day, you know, you try to stay out there stay in the stomach an extra day because you come in the game knowing, you know, you gonna die or go to jail. That's the only two things it is to do in Louisiana.
Now, coming from Louisiana, you guys got, I mean, as far as music goes, you got No Limit, you got Cash Money, you got Young Money coming up all out of that same spot. Where do they fit into your beginning story, if at all?
They fit in because you got to think about it. They were the predecessors. They are the individuals that we look to for inspiration. You know what I'm saying? I guess so to say. You know, and then I work with those individuals. I have relationships with those individuals. So
now, did you work with Master P? I know you did some things with Cash Money.
Yeah, I did a lot of work with Master P. That's my dog. I really look at him like a big uncle or something. Yeah. And then as far as Birdman, you know, me sitting around him is the reason that I started my own brand.
Okay.
You know, me sitting around him, just having conversations with him is the reason that I started my own brand. So I salute every individual, you know, on every angle, on every playing field.
That's the first thing I want to nip in the bud. A lot of people assume just because, you know, cats are from Louisiana and they all trying to rap or whatever, but because they're on different labels, like there's some kind of label beef automatically just because you didn't sign with a Cash Money or a No Limit.
No, I mean, it's the way I carry myself, I guess. You know, all of those individuals respect my man, all of them.
Yeah.
And I respect those individuals too. I mean, I salute them, I look up to them, I learn from them. Everybody, if I got a problem, I call Master P. What you think about this?
Yeah.
You know.
Now, you got a song that to me, I listened to the song first, then I heard that in video, so I had to go check that out, 4:30 a.m. Now, this song, man.
True story.
And that's what I want to know.
That's why I got this scar on my lip.
Okay, so it's all facts, no fiction.
All facts, no fiction. You the first person I told that to. If from those that haven't listened to the song, they need to go listen to the song. Because me telling you about the song, I'm just giving you, I guess, my interpretation of it. You know, it's up to the listener to grasp whatever they grasp from it. And I don't want to ruin it. It's a movie.
And literally, that's where it took me. Like, listening to that song, it was almost like literally watching a movie. And it take you through, like, journeys, and you're like, man. And that's why I had to ask, okay, is this true or are you just a co-writer? I mean, there's no question about your writing skills, but that particular song goes to a whole nother level.
I can ask you a question.
Yeah.
I got a lot of writers, you know, that I read. And if you're not an individual that ever lived those things, such as Donald Goins and such as James Patterson, and I'm a reader.
Yeah.
It's always going to be something missing when that individual didn't live it.
This is true.
It's going to always be something missing.
Yeah.
See, when you listen at, you know, my movies, so to say, my motion pictures, they take your mind somewhere else. And I'm very descriptive, detail for detail.
Yeah.
Then I capture the emotion and everything. You can hear the emotion when I relive it, when I speak about it.
I gotta say, literally listening to your music and just doing my research, getting ready for this interview, you know, going from 4:30 a.m. and just all the other songs and different videos. Literally, the best way to describe your music is motion pictures.
Yeah,
like
it's a
every
movie.
song.
It's a movie. I just don't do no acting.
Yeah.
But my life is a movie. And I would tell somebody what I got coming, but that'll ruin the movie.
All right, now let me ask you now. You're, I believe, 28 years old, right?
I'm 28.
When did you decide you want to be a rapper?
I think I've been experimenting with music my whole life. When did I take it serious?
Yeah.
Once being reinserted back into society in 2011, that's when I took it serious.
And when you say back into society, you're talking about your prison time.
I was incarcerated. Well, that was one time that I was incarcerated.
Yeah.
I was incarcerated more than once.
Let's do a real, a fact check, so to speak. You always hear people go to jail. They always say, you know, rehabilitation. That's the whole point of going to jail, supposedly. Now, honestly, you going to jail, did it change you for the better or for the worse?
Of course. If you're an individual that that if you're an introspective individual, that you take time to reflect, epiphanies happen in our solidity. If you're that type of individual, if you want better for yourself, then you have to change yourself. A wise man will change, a fool will stay the same.
So really, rehabilitation comes within yourself.
Yeah, I know a bunch of newborn dummies, way older than me.
Yeah.
Body old, mentally, you're not there.
Now, speaking of the penitentiary, and a lot of people don't know this, but you actually got a master's degree while you were in the penitentiary,
in
right?
Psychology. I got a master's degree in psychology. I almost have a doctorate in theology because I'm a big skeptic.
Yeah.
I want to know. I've always asked why, but I'm not the type of person to physically ask or, verbally why.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do my own selective study. I like to get 3 or 4 opinions. That's just me. Professional opinion. And when I say professional opinion, you have to be an individual that experienced.
Yeah.
Experience is the greatest teacher. So I want 3 or 4 professional opinions from someone who's experienced.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question, and I've heard it asked before, and I heard the answer was taken out of context.
Ask me the question.
If you're in love with your woman, you said you don't mind, have no problem pleasing her, correct?
Right.
And then someone took it out of context.
Ask me the question, man.
Did you actually say that you eat ass?
Yeah, I said it. I was having an intelligent conversation with DJ Who Kid about aiming to please one's partner. And that's the part of the conversation that he gravitated toward. He didn't gravitate toward me being intelligent and me being a mentor and having an achievement academy. Shout out to Lamont and mentoring the young people. He never gravitated to that. He gravitated toward the eat booty part. Me having a master's in psychology, it makes me question for someone to be so interested in that subject matter. What other things do they do that they don't admit?
Come on now.
That's just all I ask for someone to be so interested in that. Because if you aim to please your partner, all of that should come second nature. So when someone just gravitates toward that
one part,
especially men, it makes me wonder what other activities do they involve themselves in that I'm not aware of.
Come on now. Because honestly, when I heard that one, part of the interview, then I wouldn't listen to the whole interview. And that's what I got.
And I'm
you
very
blew me away with who you are.
I'm very passionate when I talk.
Yeah.
Very passionate.
Yeah.
Because I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. I'm very, very passionate.
Yeah.
When I tell people I don't get tired, I really mean that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get tired. I've been in the studio all night. You hear me? I just collapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the floor. They had to pick me up off the floor, and bring me to do an interview.
I said, I appreciate you for coming, man.
Yeah, this is a blessing.
Most definitely.
Yeah, because when I'm laying down at nighttime, not doing nothing, DJs and the radio personalities are the individuals that play my music. So blind, cripple, or crazy, I'm coming.
So speaking of, you just mentioned the Achievement Academy. Tell me about that, because everybody thinks, they know Kevin Gates.
That's something that I help one of my brothers named Lamont Cole, and I help him with that. When I'm not touring and when I do have time, I go sit down with him and we may put together a plan, and I just mentor the young people, and I don't go in there and tell nobody, look, if you do something wrong, you're gonna go to jail. No, I just tell them about my life story. I tell them that life is about the choices and the decisions that we make.
Yeah.
You make the right choices, the right things happen. You make the wrong choices, you suffer the consequences, whatever they may be. You know what I'm saying? But one wrong choice, us being creatures of habit, it leads to other wrong choices. And then that's what starts that downward spiral,
Most definitely.
So that's what like I say, we all know wrong from right. Life is about the choices and the decisions that you make.
Now, you came up, when people first started hearing the name Kevin Gates, it was associated with Boosie, Webby. What's your affiliation, or what's going on with you guys or with you and them now? Anything?
We're from the same city, and me and Boosie, we have worked together way back in 2006, 2007, before I was incarcerated. I was incarcerated before Boosie. But like I say, just to see what he did, he the first rapper in Baton Rouge that I ever saw go on TV.
Yeah.
CeeLo went on TV, but I was so young till I really couldn't grasp on to what was going on.
Yeah.
But to see him come through the city, in lines of cars, that showed everybody in the hood that, hey, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It's one thing to see a doctor and a lawyer, but because we don't touch them, but to actually see somebody that we know, someone that you relate to,
doing something legitimate.
Yeah.
Doing what they're passionate about.
Most definitely.
Doing what they love. That was the beauty in it. For me.
Yeah.
I don't know how other individuals took it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, he could do it. yeah, that's the recipe.
Let's talk about, you mentioned how you tour a lot. When you're not touring, when you're not in the studio, they said that's when you rest. Not necessarily sleeping, but that's when you're resting.
Yeah.
What can you expect?
Well, really, because of my diet, big brother, my body doesn't really require a lot of rest. But I suffer from depression. Okay. So I work, and wherever I collapse, my people pick me up. Other than that, it's back to going.
Well, let's elaborate a little more on your diet and the depression aspect.
As far as my diet, I don't really eat heavy foods. Your body has to go to sleep to break down solids, heavy foods. And I don't really eat a lot of solids. I'm really what you would consider a pescatarian. I eat fish, fruits, vegetables. I don't really do bread or rice. Bread being my Achilles heel. Other than that, I just go hard.
Let's talk this depression. You mentioned that, and most men, especially, they don't want to admit they're depressed because that means you're admitting a weakness, so to speak. But
well, my depression, I suffer from unresolved grief. I performed a psychoanalysis on myself. I diagnosed myself. I suffer from unresolved grief.
Okay.
So, I have severe cases of depression.
Gotcha.
That's what I suffer from. So the only thing that's therapeutic to me is working and getting tattooed.
Now, speaking of tattoos, I'm glad you brought that up. I see you got a lot of them. We see the gun on your hand, the cross-link on your forehead, the teardrops. I want to ask you about 3 in particular.
Go ahead.
And the first one is not even showing. And I heard you got an Elvis Presley tattoo.
Yeah.
Now, why Elvis?
You want me to be honest?
Please.
I had bought a brick one time. That's a kilo of cocaine for people that don't understand brick terminology. And it had Elvis Presley's face stamped in the brick, in the powder.
Wow.
And then that's what made me start looking into that individual and seeing who he was.
Yeah.
And we are similar. We share a lot of similarities. I don't really see color. I just treat people like people.
I'm not mad at that at all.
I know stupid black people. I know stupid Puerto Ricans. I know stupid white people. I know stupid, you know what I'm saying?
Stupid ain't got no race.
It ain't got no race. Yeah. I'm a fan of intelligence.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying? Right, so I don't see color.
I got all type of phone calls, majority of them from women, asking, of course, they want the basis, where you gonna be, where the show at, all that good stuff. What's going on with Kevin as far as, are you single? Do you got a woman? Are you looking?
No, I got a best friend, and we've been together for like 12 years, but our relationship is so funny because you the first person I told this to. She told me she would never be with anyone like me. And I used to always sit down and we would converse about my problems, and she saw how passionate I was and how intelligent I was, and I guess she more fell in love with that, so to say. And we accidentally had sex, and we have 2 children together.
I like the accident. So it's more than one time accident.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience.
I ain't mad at that at all. So are you focused on that best friend, or are you looking?
We best friends, so that's all I can say. Now, as far as do I do my thing? Yeah, I do my thing.
I love you for being honest.
When it's appropriate, and when it's appropriate. But like I say, a lot of times it just really be a waste of time. I'm not a fan of frivolity.
Yeah.
I don't like frivolous activity. I'm not a fan of irrelevant conduct. So a lot of times it don't even be worth it dealing with most women.
Yeah.
But like I say, when you're intelligent, when you're intelligent, I'm not gonna do anything that's unintelligent.
Yeah.
And then I'm excessively analytical. So I'm big on. I'm gonna look at a woman's feet, and I'm gonna look at her fingers.
Yeah. Go deeper into that face.
How she smell, her pH levels may be off. She may eat the wrong food.
Come on now.
Her body may be acidic, her alkalinity, yeah, so I'm big on that.
So, and this is my last question for you. I'm a fan of yours. What is something that I may not know, even though I'm a fan, heard all your music and everything else, what's something that I may not know about you, about Kevin Gates?
I don't know, I guess just to throw it out there, I'm an animal lover. I love animals. Right now I'm looking for one of the puppets. Either gonna be one of the bull terriers, a little Spud McKenzie looking dog.
Yeah.
Or if it's not that, it's gonna be probably one of them little bullies, a little pit bull, something, one of the little pocket pit bulls.
Okay.
Something I could bring with me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at a monkey not too long ago. I was gonna buy me a monkey.
Focus. Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin Gates, man, thank you for coming to check us out. You listen to Power 106.7.
I appreciate you for having me. This is a blessing. And the artists who feel like, man, this is a blessing.
Most definitely.
This is an outlet.
Yeah.
You're allowing me to be heard through your outlet, and I appreciate you for having me.
Definitely welcome.
His interviews I done walked out on.
Yeah.
When I guess the interviewer was trying to, be, play mental gymnastics.
Do too much.
And I'm not a fan of mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
So I done walked out on interviews before, but I like for my audience to see that it's my honesty. That's me exhibiting my honesty.
And I appreciate that.
Sometimes I'm gonna be turned up, sometimes I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you me though every time. So, it's a time and a place. It's an arena for all things.
Definitely.
So like I say, everybody that's ever been a fan of Kevin Gates, you included, I love you all. I wouldn't say that if I didn't mean it, because you are the people who allow me to feed my children. You are the people that allow me to, I guess, experience some moments of joy in my life.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wouldn't sit around and be like, I came in the game with everything I want to know.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
When I came home to nothing. To nothing. I grinded up. Off of doing shows, we grossed about 2.5 mil before we went and signed with a label.
Yeah.
We grinded that.
Yeah.
But it was because of other people and people like you believing in this movement. When radio wasn't playing it, radio, we wasn't doing radio interviews. Even in my own city. I was shown love by certain DJs, but the powers that be, they just weren't accepting to Kevin Gates at that time.
Yeah.
Now, you can't deny it. You can't deny it.
Yeah.
All praise be to the Most High, whatever faith that anyone is.
Most definitely. Man, Kevin Gates, thank you, bro.